Gonna extend some love to you. I thank you for taking the time out to tend to yourself and to listen. Welcome to She Speaks. Today's message, considering it is the 1st of March, is about the beauty of starting over. This society and this construct has deemed it to be a failure if you were to start over. And a lot of people are afraid to shift gears or to transition into something different because of the fear of starting over. But what is starting over really? Because what I've learned is that when we are granting ourselves the opportunity to what we consider to start over, we are not starting over from scratch, from nothing. We're starting over from life's experiences, right? We are starting over from a healed space, right? So every time that you decide that you are going to pivot and try to transition into something different, you are allowing space for your story to be rewritten. The story that was yours to write in the beginning. So at this time that we are in, we can see that a lot of the stories are being rewritten. And that's a beautiful thing. So when you're looking out into the world and it seems like things are falling apart, let them. That way you are releasing your attachment to what was and freeing yourself up to the endless possibilities of what can be and what is going to be. But again, society has us tied to the false realities of, if you stick with a career, that is the career you're supposed to stick with for the rest of your life. Or if you get married, you're supposed to stay in that commitment for the rest of your life. Or you leave that passion, right? You leave that whatever situation it is that you are holding on to, that you know it is time for you to release. That is a part of the construct because of your fear of looking like you have failed, looking like you have given up, when there is strength in surrendering and releasing. I say this all the time, but look at the seasons, baby. The seasons shift, they change. And we need to get back in alignment with nature so we allow ourselves the opportunity to be able to shift and to change with it. But this society, based on these false realities, has removed us so far from our original essence and how we're supposed to be, that when you decide to think outside of the box, as they say, you feel constrained, you feel tied to the box. There's no resistance to leave the box because we have become so complacent in the box. But the craziest part of it all is the box is not real. It doesn't exist. They have created this false reality that it does exist. So in this new season, right? Because we don't have to wait for the calendar. That's another illusion of being in the box. When we feel with our beings, we're able to see that the energy is shifting, right? There are buds growing. There's flowers blossoming. This is the time to be fruitful and planting seeds. All of these things are happening in front of our eyes, and it is showing us that it's time to step out of the comfort zone. The comfort zone was winter. You're nice, you're warm, you're snug, you're cozy, but now it is time to blossom. It is time to bloom. And that involves inner strength, inner knowing that first of all, you are worthy of changing when your circumstance is no longer supporting you, when you have outgrown those relationships, when you have outgrown that job, when you feel that, hey, this house is no longer working for me, you have the power to shift, pivot, exit stage left when you feel the desire to. Now I know firsthand, when it comes to making these types of shifts and changes, it is going to be scary. You are going to feel like you have lost it, and everything within you is going to want to keep you in that same hellhole that you have been living in. And in this season, it is calling for authenticity over perfection. Again, the constructs have us believing that if it does not look this way, that it is not right, and that is not real. What is real is the power within you to shift and to change. Since your creation, you were born in your own lane, and the way this construct is set up, it has us to blend ourselves into lanes that don't even fit our destination. So it is up to you to get back in your lane. A lane with views that you adore. A lane with pit stops that are for you. A lane that is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be straight and narrow. Baby, there's going to be some hills, some mountains, some valleys. It's going to be all of that. But you have the divine will and power within you to be able to maneuver and to get through. I have said this before. The worst that you have experienced in your life is already behind you. It has already passed. You have conquered many demons. You have slayed many dragons. The worst is already behind you. So the work that you have to do now is the work of making the decision to choose different, to get yourself out of that comfort zone. We have this illusion of wanting to have the perfect family, that it is killing us so much so to stay in that space. We have this illusion of, but I've been here for so many years. They're going to give me that manager position. I just feel it. And every year you sit there and they refuse to give it to you, and they give it to another when you are more than worthy. Baby, it is time to be in spaces and places where you are cherished, where you are adored, where you don't have to put a mask on. You don't have to ship shape, right? You don't have to change your voice. You can show up exactly as you are. But in order for you to get to those spaces, have those relationships, you have to release what is no longer serving you. And look at the weather outside. It's heating up a bit. You no longer need that big ass winter coat. You don't need a scarf and a glove. You could wear a light sweater. You know what I mean? So as the seasons are changing, pay attention to nature And as the seasons are changing and making a shift and new things are growing and new things are blossoming, start doing a checks and balance within yourself. And think about in the springtime, that winter coat is going to weigh you down. So what in your life in the springtime is considered to be a winter coat? What in your life when we're in the springtime is going to be weighing you down? Do you need those Timberland boots in the springtime? Do you need that hat, scarf, and glove set in the springtime? Whatever those things are in your life that are weighing you down, what needs to be released so you can grow? The time is an illusion. The illusion of I've been here for 10 years. I've known them all my life. Do not allow time to continue to be a shackle and keep you tied to things that you need to release. I encourage you. I encourage you to allow space for growth. And when you think of a seed and its growth, you think of a seed and its growth. When you're growing in darkness, and that seed is packed in that soil. In order for the sprouts to come out, the sprouts have to push its way through. It has to grow downward and it has to grow upward. But there's going to be some time that passes in order for it to make its first sprout. Then it's going to take more time to pass for it to be able to become the hardy fruit, the full harvest, right? But it's an uncomfortable experience that has to be had if you want to be able to eat from that fruit. So, change your mindset when it comes to starting over. Because the months change, the seasons change, the day change, the hour, the minute, the second, the millisecond, it changes. You change. You are not the same person that you were when you were 15. There are aspects of you that are changing. There are aspects around you that are changing. Do not resist the wave, but flow with the wave. Surrender to change. I love you. Peace.